Here. Thank you, Ciarán, and can I offer my congratulations as well to Minister McEntee and Minister McConalogue on their deserved promotions, and I wish you the very best in your offices, and also my congratulations and thanks to Minister Charlie Flanagan and David Stanton, who have worked exceptionally hard over the last number of years. A couple of observations on the estimates, if I may, please. In particular, I just want to highlight the issue again of domestic violence and some of the practicalities around that just at the moment. The disconnect or the question about how the funding and the policy is connected at the moment. Domestic violence, criminal law still remaining very much within the Department of Justice, but so much of the funding and liaison being delivered through TUSLA, which of course is the Child and Family Services organisation. And we must ask all the time, are we achieving through those means the correct gathering of information, how we're distributing the fund, how we're and how we're really providing essential supports for users of domestic violence services, how we're gathering information in relation to not just the people who are contacting helpline, not just the people who are coming into refuges, but for whom those services are providing outreach services in their own homes. As I think Deputy Murphy said, it seems outrageous that somebody who has been the victim of domestic violence is the person who has to leave the family home, but because it has been difficult in the court system, because it has been difficult, to obtain a borrowing order as quickly as may be, as may be necessary for the very urgent situation that is domestic violence. Of course, we have to provide those additional services. But it comes up, this problem, this disconnect comes up again and again, because there's another situation where it's relevant, and I raised this with you yesterday, Minister, and indeed with Minister O'Gorman in the Department of Children today, which is the Section 47 assessment reports which are done under family law. And again, these are assessments that are done in difficult parental separation situations where the court is trying to assess the best interests of the child and also the views of the child in certain circumstances. But the difficulty, and that's as maybe in a sort of, if you want to say, fairly regular divorce or separation proceeding, but where that has come of a background of domestic abuse or violence, it is even more important that we are fully aware of all of the tools and difficulties that previous abusers may throw in to manipulate that process also to try to achieve either further and continuing control over the family or members of the family, or indeed to have access to children where access has to be questioned in some of those circumstances. I'm aware of a number of cases in my own constituency that cause me real concern every day, where people who have received criminal convictions either for manipulation or, in a different case, multiple domestic abuse convictions, are engaged in a Section 47 process where the other partner has real concerns about the capacity of that partner to manipulate the Section 47 assessor. And so what I'm asking you to do, please, is if you could consider within the court's vote allocating some money for the training for judges, but also on coercive control, to make sure that they're absolutely up to date on that in circumstances where they're involved in family law cases, but also providing that the Section 47 assessors are absolutely up to date on coercive control and manipulation and how that can follow a family through the family law process in a very serious way. And I know that you have already expressed your commitment to these issues, and I know how much there is to be done, and I really appreciate your thought and effort on it. If I could just say in relation to the prison service, I congratulate the prison service for their astonishing achievement in keeping the prison population safe from COVID-19. And as a member of the COVID committee, we've looked at congregated settings in a range of different contexts. We haven't looked at the prison service, and I think it's essential that it be recognised in the work of the COVID committee, and also the Central Mental Hospital, which I don't think we have yet on record as having had no patient case. I believe there was one staff case, but no patient case. And of course, these are congregated settings that are in fact run by the state in their entirety, as opposed to some of the other congregated settings that we've looked at, and I just want to congratulate them on that. Finally, if I just might say, very welcome to see additional funding provided for the Judicial Council. It's imperative that we protect and support the judiciary and a strong judicial institution. It's unfortunate that we have to continually remind ourselves about the importance of the separation of powers, that the judges have no function in interfering or advising on the development of legislation or our decision-making in legislative development over here, and similarly that members of this House have no place in commenting or criticising the decisions of judges of our courts in this state. Thank you.
Can I